Hi guys, Marvin Kid here coming to you courtesy of DarkAvengerINC+. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody had a free comic book day. Like I said on my review, I was only able to get 3. It was crazy. But like I said, I was able to get the Infinity. Like I said, the Superman, and what's to come for Valiant Comics. But I'm here once again, courtesy of another exclusive. These are titles that I exclusively review here on DarkAvengerINC+. Once again, and there were 2 that I was supposed to review. I got lazy, forgot it. So I'm here to review them again. So I'm gonna go from last week that I was supposed to review to this week. Okay. So we have one from IDW, one from DC, and one from Top Cap. All right. So we'll start off with none other than JinnRise. This is number 4. The Genies versus the Aliens title that's been going on. This has been really, really fantastic to me. So in the last issue we saw that basically Jabal, the genie that's with them, the Jinn as they call them, he was at the mercy of. He looked like he was at the mercy of the Jabrandi, the alien race. However, it's showcased that something happened. They were able to get out of it because of Andrew and Eunice is basically saved by someone. His name is Harris, as you can see right here. He saves him. So they get a mutual ally in this. And he pretty much has an underground bunker that's keeping him safe for a while. He's kind of a little kind of cuckoo. But he's playing an online chess game with somebody, and he's like, don't bother me while I'm playing. But they give us when Marcus and Eunice are reunited, there's a little happy sign, and they give us a clue of what happened between the fight between the Jabrandi and Jabal, and pretty much it looks like he was handling them pretty well until he is sucked back into his lamp, and pretty much we see the outcome that he said that what is his name? Jesus Christ, I'm forgetting his name already. We see that Harris is able to get the kids out of safety, and that's that. But the Jabrandi are really like, this isn't over, something has gone wrong, and everything like that. They want to know, they want reports on the Jinn, like how are they able to handle us? This can't be, everything like that. And they start to dig. They try to dig for the answers. However, when they thought Jabal was gone, because his lamp was collapsed under all the rubble, Harris shows them like, here you go. You're forgetting something. And he buys them, the kids, time to get, to get out of the cavern before, the horde of the Jabrandi come looking for him, as you can see here. And he handles them. Harris is able to handle these guys, and that's when Jabal comes out once again. Beautiful artwork right here. This big centerfold right here. Jabal just handling the rest of them, and it's basically to the point where Jabal and the gang, they know that they have to find the other Jinn, his other brothers, because he's only one against many, and even though he's powerful, he needs the others to help them. And that's the other main story. But since this is I think only a 5-parter, I think it's about to end. This has been just great so far. I've been loving this title. Mr. Awa, I believe that's his name, and uh, Tony Vassallo artwork is just beautiful in this, guys. Very good. I can't wait to see how this ends, and really what's to come for the Jinn, as they're called. They're not called genies, and they're called Jinn, because it's like they're still prisoners in a sense. Because in the last issue, we got to see how they became this way. But aliens and genies, what more can you want, right? Good stuff. All right, so we move on to DC, and last week we had the issue number 3 of a title that I like. I like the character. I've always liked her before the 52, everything like that, and that's Katana number 3. Destroying a hero's greatest weapon unleashes the world's greatest evil. Before, beware the creeper. Yeah. In a gist, basically, what can I just tell you a little bit more of? Tatsu's still trying to find the League of Daggers, basically, that she's been dealing with. But other than that, we also see an individual that's coming to San Francisco or Japantown to deal with her. None other than Killer Croc. And in the meantime, Katana is, she's doing her normal routine. She works at a like a sake, a place, a bar, and she's a waitress there and things like that. But she's still looking for the Dagger Clan, pretty much. And she's getting closer and closer to them because members of the Dagger Clan actually come to the place that she's at, that she works at. So she's got a good cover to use it. But in the meantime, she's still trying to figure out how some of the members of the Dagger Clan use their weapons. Like there's a weapon that looks like it doesn't look like it cuts people. It just looks like it's just like a whip. And once again, she meets up with the homeless guy that seems to be more than meets the eye with her, which is fun. And he looks at it and he's like, "Oh, hey Tatsu, so what do you have now?" Takes it right from her, and he uses it. He's using it and showing her, like, things like that, and things like that. As one again, he's telling her, like, look, it's a Japanese weapon. Remember what your name means in Japanese. Tatsu means dragon. So things like that, and so do it. Just like a lion's tail, everything like that. And Tatsu's having trouble with it, and he's like, you're no good. So once again, Tatsu, he's just really playing with Tatsu, like, showing him that I'm not just a drunk homeless guy. I'm more than what I. And we find out that he is more than he is. He works at a blacksmith. He's a blacksmith, and he tells her, I work at a blacksmith, things like that, and, a forge, and he tells her, he's sorry that he lied to her and everything like that. But in the meantime, Tatsu's on the trail of the Dagger Clan as always, and we see a pretty decent fight between her and some of the on top of this ship, which is cool. Seeing her just kick ass as always. I like that. And unfortunately, she what looks like it's gonna be her end, because after a while she does get outnumbered and things like that. She looks like she gets some help from Killer Croc. Unfortunately, Killer Croc's not there to help her. He's there to take her out. And unfortunately, there's a fight that goes on, and then booyah! Check that out. Croc breaks the Soul Taker, her sword, and Croc's all happy about it. But we kind of see that Tatsu's really pissed off about it. She's no, no, and we start to see the souls come out of her soul, out of her dagger, and one of them she's thinking is her husband. However, we get the clue that her husband was never in the sword at all. Never. It was never in the sword, and we find out who it is. And he goes on to say, "Ha! Finally out of that damn limbo. The crowd inside your sword was a bore, Katana. All I had to keep me going was your loving whisper." Basically saying, I was the one listening to you when you would always talk about your husband and everything like that, Matzo and all. He said, "Did you think that your husband was whispering back to you? It was me, so obliging of you to obey my command. You took your sword into your bed. You took all of us. Do you remember killing me? Well, no matter. The creeper rides again." Yeah. So, that's it. Other than that, it was fine. Now, how do I feel on the creeper being kind of a Japanese spirit that was inhabited Tatsu's sword? Not so bad about it, because at one point the creeper did have some mystical aspects to him way back. But a little bit like, that's interesting. It's just the same as how they're showing, like the latest thing they showed was Bronze Tiger. He's going to be coming back into the 52, but he's not going to be a man. Benjamin Turner is not going to be wearing just a tiger map. It seems like he's all tiger now. He's a humanoid tiger, but for all those who reads Red Hood and the Outlaws, that's where you're going to find him. So, but it does give you a sense of like what's going to happen to the Soul Taker now. Will it be restored? And I feel that the homeless guy that Tatsu always bumps into is going to play a big factor into it. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. But other than that, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm a little, and Creeper looks really interesting, like you can see him right here. But Creeper, I'm not really too fond of that too much. But I did like the Creeper. I'm not saying I don't hate him, but I'm just like, okay. So those were the two books that were supposed to be up last week, but I apologize because I got a little lazy, got a little busy. So. But now we're on to the books that the book that was for this week, and this is from Top Cow, and this is part 4 or 5, one more issue, and that is none other than Son of Merlin. Yes, Napton and Zed, they still do fantastic job writing this title. And Zid's artwork is fantastic. I would love to see him do some more artwork. But look who's on the cover. That's Morgan Le Fay. Yeah. So this pretty much leads off with that last issue left off on, where Morgan knows where they're hanging out. Basically where Gwen and Simon are. Son of Merlin, and she pays a visit. She gets in there and she breaks into Gwen's mother's apartment, which is her mother Penelope, and she gets them out of there. She puts them, and Morgan is just like, give me the book, where's the book? And they enter a panic room, a magical version of a panic room that basically Merlin created for her, designed for her, and Morgan Le Fay's having a trouble getting through it. She's using all her magical weapons. However, she'll get through it, but it's going to take some time. And basically, Simon's like, so we're stuck in here forever, like it'll keep us safe. And Penelope, Gwen's mother's like, possibly, but Morgan she's always been headstrong like my daughter, so she's not gonna give up. Um, and basically, Penelope's telling her like Morgan's always had a, she's always had a temper about her. So if she didn't get her way, so Simon's like, we need a plan. We got to get out of here. We can't stay here. We gotta go. We gotta go. And Penelope's like, okay, you have one in mind. And he talks about this guy who played chess, you know, and unfortunately Morgan kind of breaks through. She gets a hole in the door and she sees Simon, and Morgan's like, she's like, you must be the boy that my son was telling me about. He's like, my name's Simon. And he's like, she's like interested now in him. She's like, how are you able to use, druid powers and everything like that? There's not many that is able to use that, so I want to know. And he's like, okay, let's talk about what you want. And she says, I want the diary. And all of you are dead. How's that sound? And so he's like, so basically Simon is trying to play, he's playing with her. He's like, okay, look, instead of wasting your energy on us, how about I make a deal? Basically, we'll give you the book, the diary, for exchange of our lives. And he's like, you must know, but he says, but you must agree to a truth spell that will bind us both to our word. So she's like, you're negotiating with Morgan Le Fay, me? Like, and he's like, yeah. She's like, okay, very well. Killing you three would have been a luxury, but the diary will suffice for now. So she's like, okay, we'll do it your way. Deal? Deal. So they basically bind a spell, a truth spell that binds them to tell the truth. Like, they can't go back on the word. So here's the book. And they get out. So they walk out, no problem. Morgan Le Fay doesn't harm them, anything like that. But she does say something to Penelope, Gwen's mother. She's like, I thought you were my friend. I once called you friend. And Penelope says, I never was your friend. And she says, a moment, boy. She said, once again, comes back to Simon. She's like, if you had the time, if I had the time, I'd find out exactly what I want to know about you. But she's like, be warned, like, you brought your lives today. Don't waste it. Stay away from matters that don't concern you, boy. And she says, maybe and so I love how Simon says, maybe you didn't hear me correctly. My name's Simon. Goodbye. Just get out of here. So it's like, so they're really like concerned, Gwen and her mother Penelope, like, why did you give her the book? Why'd you give her the diary? And so what they didn't know is that Simon read the whole diary. He read it through because he's able to read, druid writing really easily now because of who he is. So they go, they hours later, they're in Istanbul and they're reading they're getting clues of what's to come and things like that. So it's starting to feel more like a Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones piece now. You start to see a little bit of Indiana Jones when they were looking for the Holy Grail, and the Last Crusade and things like that. And it becomes really good to the point of, Simon's really starting to get the magic down pat, cloaking spells, things like that. And he gets a message. From his father. Yeah, as you can see here. Merlin talks to him and tells him what this is going to mean to him. What's this, the to get to the stones, and it's treacherous. He's telling him like it's going to be treacherous. You're going to have to face 3 elements 3 times and everything like that. And but you must not fail, my son. And it's cool. It's really cool to hear Merlin's spirit or what he left him talk to him like that. And Simon's interested. He's like, it's nice to meet you. Talk to me, please. Like, it's to the point now. Simon's really in depth into his father. He wants to know more about him. Why, father, please. He's, Simon, he's telling him, Merlin, I want to know more about you. Please tell me. And unfortunately, it's like a afterthought for him that only Simon can see. And he says, goodbye, my son. And he's like, Father, wait, what map? What map? He's telling about a map, and Simon's like, Gwen, did you see him? Did you see him? Did you see him? And Gwen's like, I didn't see him. Like maybe it was only for Simon to see, but it really gets dire need to the point of they have to get to the stones before Morgan Le Fay, which is really cool. And unfortunately, we kind of see the first element that is going to try to stop them from, which is water. However, which I will spoil here, guys. Simon's like, is there a spell for breathing underwater? And Gwen's like, not that I know of. And he's like, I forgot to mention this. I can't swim. Dun dun dun. So it ends right there. So it's to be continued in issue 5. But once again, fantastic writing. Artwork is fantastic. It just really gets you. If you are a fan of the Merlin lore or everything like that, you're gonna love this. One more issue to go to see where it's gonna end. But it's kind of interesting because at the end of the book it said to be continued. It didn't say to be concluded, meaning it's gonna end there. So I'm wondering about this. Where is this gonna go? But other than that, I loved it. Son of Merlin has been really good. I do recommend you pick up this, the first 4 issues if you need be. Very good writing in my opinion. Very funny. Okay? So there you have it, guys. Another exclusive review for Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back, whenever another exclusive book that I read will be back on this title. But you guys will find me here on Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. I'm always around, whether it's reviews or just topics, just thought videos. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. And this is Malvern Kid saying peace, one love. Stay tuned, keep real on behalf of Dark Avenger Inc. Plus.